Welcome to Channel 15, Public Access Television. You're watching Munger Vision, and it's a great day for baseball. You're looking at St. Peter's Field, and we have American Legion Post 31 baseball action taking on Hartford Post 26. And Post 31 coming off a road trip yesterday where they split a doubleheader with Hudson, New York, losing the first game 2-1, coming back to win the second game 3-2. So two tight ball games. And like I said, Mike Sorelli getting the start today, and he'll be looking at the top of the order, and Matt Paz, the catcher for Hartford, at the plate. Yesterday's pitchers, Tim Oliver, went to complete 7 innings yesterday in the 2-1 loss. Pitched very well against Hudson, New York. And his pitch from Sorelli will make it strike one. 1-1 to count. We're just underway. First inning scheduled for 7. First game of a doubleheader. Jerry Munger bringing you this Legion baseball game. So the 1-1 count. I'll be fouled off for strike 2, so 1-2. In that second game yesterday down in Hudson, New York, Gary Pelkey got the win. He got the start, and then Jeff McLaughlin came in to pitch. Jeff McLaughlin starting at third today. He's in on the grass down at third base. And I'll go around that entire horn for you and set the defense for Post 31. And that one just slipped out of Mike's hands. 2-2 the count to the leadoff hitter, Matt Paz. Zach Aquistapes starting at first base today. Chris Parker is at second. Matt Sharon's at short. Well, we mentioned Jeff McLaughlin's at third. Ryan Carter's behind the plate. And there's going to be a strikeout for Sorelli, so he'll strike out the leadoff batter to get things going here in this American Legion baseball game. More muggy day. Baseball weather. Now Mike Grant is the hitter. Now that outfield has Chad Ryan gets a start in left field today. Robbie Dorian in center. And Jeff Perry in right field. And I got to tell you, probably the best outfield. And that's going to be foul ball down toward Otter Creek for a strike. Probably the best outfield in the state, in my opinion. And I'm talking when you put John Holtman out there in right field also, it stays just as good out there. So depth in the outfield position, you bet. Never does hurt. And that's going to be through the hole, and there's the outfield. They'll pick up the ball, and Chad Ryan will retrieve that single. So Hartford with a one-out, a one-on situation here, and that ball, no doubt about it, ripped through the hole at short. Jim Gaudette up now. He'll be a left-hander, and that's going to be to his advantage because they're going to hold the runner on defensively with Zach Aquistapes. And again, you already know this, but I'm going to tell you again, that creates a bigger hole for him to pull the ball through, being a left-handed hitter. Great pitch. If Sorelli can get that to work all day and get that call all day, he will be pretty sweet. Sorelli's pitched extremely well this year as he did last year. And that's going to be playable. That's going to be playable. Matt Sharon will go back. Yeah, good communications. It might look like a traffic jam right now, but everybody was talking. I could hear him very clearly, and Matt Sharon made no doubt about it that he was going to catch the ball, and he did for the second out. The runner unable to advance from first base, and now the cleanup hitter, Sean Fernandez, up with 2 down. He'll come back to the right-hand side, and Sorelli will go back to work here and look for that third out, and he brought a little heat, a little high cheese there, and that'll be ball 1. And again, lots of baseball action for you coming up, not only here on Channel 15, but you can get down and catch the Legion action in person. Behind that's going to be fouled back for a strike. Now, I know I'm tape delayed, but the weekend of the 14th and 15th, there's one game, 9-inning game Saturday, and one 9-inning game on Sunday starting at noon. And again, you can just check the Rutland Herald, listen to the radio, call the Legion, pick up one of their little Legion schedules. They're all over the city, and you'll know also where to come and find out when games are being played. The only weekend that there is not a game in the month of July is the 22nd of July. Runner's going. That's going to be a tough bit. It was a slow breaking ball. The runner had a tremendous jump. So they won't even contest. Actually, well, I don't believe they'll even go as a stolen base. I forget what the technical phrase, but runner at second with 2 down. Runner in scoring position. Boy, Sorelli brought in a little more zip up inside again, and that's going to be ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, so the first 3-ball count of the young afternoon in the top of the first. Hartford with these softer sky blue type uniforms on. He'll walk him. He'll put runners at first and second. And he'll bring up Tyler Perrin, the second baseman. And Ryan Carter, the catcher, is going to come out and talk to, very briefly talk to Mike Sorelli. Tony Sorelli, the head coach over at Post 31. Jeff Brewer is an assistant coach. George Bennett's an assistant. Ronnie Fairbanks is the general manager. And the Batgirls, Natasha McPhee. And that brings you up on the administrative end of Post 31. And that's going to be out of play. Yep. And that will be strike one on the foul ball. Sorelli with a walk, a strikeout, and a base hit all allowed here in this first inning. And then Matt Sharon, of course, caught that pop fly on the outfield grass for the second out. That's a great pitch again. Had him reaching on it. He fouled it off, and very quickly now, it is an 0-2 count on Tyler Perrin. Nick Avery is the on-deck hitter for Hartford Post 26. And again, the first of two games here today at St. Peter's Field, which means the first of two games on Channel 15. Oh, he brought it just above the belt. Couldn't get him to chase it. That was a good two-strike pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'll get the sign from Carter, and yeah, he'll step off the rubber there, and they'll just either keep the sign. They'll probably go through the signs again, and he'll get reset, and batter Perrin back in the box. Yeah, Carter. So you can give location, then the sign, and he's good to go. And got him! 2 strikeouts for Sorelli, and that'll end the threat. We'll end the top half of the first scoreless. At number 1 with his back to you, that's the starting pitcher, Pat Riley for Hartford. He'll have Matt Paz behind the plate, and they'll be facing Rob Dorian, the center fielder. And I'll go through the rest of that defense for Hartford after this first pitch comes in from Mr. Riley. And that's going to be a strike call. Jim Gaudette is at first base. Tyler Perrin will play second. Nick Avery's your shortstop. Sean Fernandez is at third base. Left field is Dennis Furman. Mike Grant is in center. And Logan Skelza is your right fielder. That'll be high for a ball. Now leaving things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Besides Dorian, obviously, in the leadoff role, you'll have the number 2 hitter, Matt Sharon. Batting number 3 is Jeff McLaughlin. And, of course, Ryan Carter is your cleanup batter. Very disciplined right there, laying off a borderline pitch, dip below the knee to make it 2 balls or 1 strike. The breeze is blowing out to left center field. So it is a hitter's breeze today so far in game number 1, but that can change pretty quickly down here at St. Peter's Field. And that's going to be putting the play down to second base. He'll stay down low on the ball, flip to first, and he'll have Dorian out on that 4-3 ground out as they go from Tyler Perrin to Jim Gaudette. Now Matt Sharon, who's the shortstop, but again, you can see him, he'll pitch a lot this year, and he's done a very good job, whether he's at shortstop or pitching, but he's got to be above 400 in his batting average. He just seems to always get multiple hits throughout the games, and just like his whole leadership role he has in the dugout, him and Chris Parker in the game. And that will just gently break in there for strike 1. One of those teasing breaking balls. Almost looks like a knuckleball, but from behind at this distance, it's awful hard to tell. If I was behind home base, I could be specific, but that's going to be down to second base. Perrin will have a second chance. He'll go to Gaudette, and he'll have the same results. So a couple 4-3 ground outs, and there's 2 down now for Post 31. And I'll bring up the third baseman, Jeff McLaughlin. Like I said, he got the pitch yesterday in that second game, coming in relief of Gary Pelkey. So, you know, it's never too late to start a scoring rally. So with 2 down, McLaughlin trying to get on base here for Post 31. Pat Riley into the wind up, and the right-hander will kick fire and drop down almost 3/4 sidearm on that pitch, and he'll go to the backstop for a ball. And the crowd's starting to get themselves in here now. They're starting to come in. I could tell you, you really got to get out and take in a game live, but you know, you got to continue to watch it on Channel 15 too. It's like the Red Sox in 2, where you actually watch the game and then they replay it like an hour later on Nesson. You can come here, watch the game live, and then go home during the week and catch it again on Munger Vision on PEGTV Channel 15. Pitch on the way with 2 down and nobody on, and that's a great pitch. Outside corner for a strike. It'll make it 2 balls, 1 strike. If McLaughlin can get on base, like I said, they'll bring up Ryan Carter in the 4 spot, and then Zach Aquistapace in the 5 spot. And that's a pretty tough 4-5 matchup for any pitcher in the state of Vermont to go against Carter than Aquistapace. Oh, yeah. You can see the hitter bend on that McLaughlin. I'll watch that just tickle the corner for a 2-2 count now as everything evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. We're scoreless in the bottom of the first. Post 31 at the plate. And time has been called. You see the home base umpire calling time, and now he'll let everybody get resituated. Riley said he wanted to get going before. Just missed. Yeah, I know McLaughlin knows that strike zone, and I got a lot of faith in him. That's a close pitch to take right there with 2 strikes, but he got away with it. So a full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Riley, that'll be pulled down to third base, and he forgot to pick the ball up, so it's going to be an error. And McLaughlin, he's going to take it to second base, turns the Jets on, and he will be safe as he slid away from the tag. So I told you, 2 down, you just keep playing hard. So he will reach on the air, the E5, then take second base on that good hustle play. And that will allow Ryan Carter to get up now with a runner in scoring position. And like I said, if you start thinking about the power in Carter and the power in Equistapace, and one's your 4 hitter, one's your number 5 hitter, that's pretty a pretty formidable lineup there and pretty daunting task for the pitchers to kind of look at that. So from the stretch for the first time today, Pat Riley. Yeah, again, he brought that breaking ball, and you see Carter turn away from it, and it'll be ball 1. And McLaughlin, if you're wondering about his speed, very fast. It's very possible he could score on a single from second base. Or he could score on from second base on a single, I think would be the more correct order. And that's going to be a strike. So a 1-1 to count. Each team now, after like the top of the first, don't forget Hartford at first and second, couldn't score. Rutland now with a runner at second. See if they can capitalize on it here. You know, there's a lot of baseball left to be played today. He got around on that, and ooh, he put it out the concession stand. Yeah. That woke the guys up over there. Yeah. Mickey Kelly over there in the concession stands always greets me with the big hi, and love to talk to Mick. Field looks great as far as the infield and the grass, and just again my personal opinion, which doesn't mean squat, the best damn field in the state of Vermont, whether you want to watch baseball or football. The best attended to, I'll tell you that, as far as volunteer people taking care of the field. So now we have a 2-2 count on Ryan Carter. And you could tell, I don't even have to tell you what that was. Full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And again, Zach Equistapace awaiting on deck if Carter should get on here. McLaughlin, very conservative lead for Jeff down at second base. Just about 4.5, 5 steps off the bag at second. And he came inside and got Carter. Big strikeout in the threat, and we'll go to the second inning, 0-0. Nick Avery due up. He'll be followed by Pat Riley and Dennis Furman as just 2 subs, 2 extra players on the Hartford roster for today. They're not using a DH or an EH or any H. They're just going to play 9 straight up. Rutland, on the other hand, is going to have a DH bat for Mike Sorelli today. That pitch came up high for a ball. Sorelli with 2 strikeouts in that first inning. Did have a walk, and then did allow a base hit. And Equistapace moving. Just fell between Perry, Equistapace, and Parker. Good effort by all 3 guys. They just couldn't get there, and that ball had eyes, and that will just set up a long foul ball strike to make it a 1-1 count. I said Hartford had a scoring opportunity in the first inning, as did Rutland. Neither team could take advantage of it, and we're in inning number 2, 0-0. You're watching PEGTV, Channel 15, and Munger Vision bringing you this American Legion baseball game. And that's going to be to the gap, and Dorian with that blazing speed won't get to that one. He'll bounce off the wall for at least a double. He's going to stop, put the brakes on. That was a good gap shot because that's a fast outfield out there as far as the players are going, and then he's able to out-hit the defensive players of Chad Ryan and Rob Dorian. So a leadoff double. Now Pat Riley up with a chance to help himself out and give his team the lead. Runner down at second base. Avery with very good speed, number 22 for Hartford. Hartford at the plate with the lighter blue uniforms and the red helmets. And Rutland post 31 in the field. They came in a little bit too close to get the call, and that'll be ball 1. And like I was telling you, every weekend in the month of July, except July 22nd, there's a Legion baseball game. And they're always noontime starts. That's a bunt attempt. Foul. But I tell you, that was very fortunate he didn't get it popped up and caught there as he got jammed and he got on underneath the ball and bunted it up in the air. So everybody will get set. We'll send Avery back to second base, and it'll put Riley back in the box. And again, yesterday Rutland split with Hudson Falls, New York. 2-1 first game loss, 3-2 second game win. And they're all set to go. I'm not sure who's pitching the second game today. And he laid off that long enough just to nip it with the end of the bat and stay alive. 1-2 the count. This inning started off by Avery, who hit a double into that left center field gap. And he's still down there at second base. Got the Shrine Maple Sugar Bowl High School All-Star Football game coming up. If you're looking for something to do in August. Oh, that's Fister. That's a Fister. Right off the fist and foul. And then, of course, my soccer coverage will start in late August. And I can already tell you, you're going to see some Mill River boys, Mill River girls soccer action from North Clarendon, Vermont, USA. Coach Kevin Ratty, Coach Randy Chadburn with some good squads down there. Good talent. And he's set with 2 strikes now. Sorelli. And that's going to be, oh, just over the glove of Parker, and they're going to wave home Avery, and he's going to make it. The ball just died on the outfield, and that's going to be an RBI single. It just missed as Riley will drive and run. Just avoided getting in the glove of great effort there by the middle infielder, second baseman actually, Chris Parker. Now the left fielder, Dennis Furman, coming up. And again, Zach Quistapace defensively will hold the runner on first base. So Hartford getting on the board first, 1-0 in the top of the second. Still nobody down, and we'll see how aggressive Hartford's going to be on the bases. Now Hartford, having watched them played a couple times this year in high school baseball, because this is basically the continuation of high school baseball, that fastball by him for a strike. A much improved team. Remember the MSJ squad, high school squad, was undefeated when they went to Hartford and lost in Hartford 9-2. You know, they avenged that loss later, but Hartford, a much improved team, and I would expect them to be much improved, and that's going to stay fair. Fair ball, and they had to play it out like that. They were never going to be able to throw them out, and they let it roll down the line, and they were waiting for it to kind of kick foul, but never did, so that'll be a first and second situation now. And I'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Logan Skelza, the right fielder, batting number 9, playing the 9 position. And first and second, nobody down, 1 run in. Hartford getting the makings here of a big inning. Top of the order on deck is Matt Paz, the catcher. Well, I'm sorry to say, though, usually you can tell by how a high school team does if their Legion team's going to be improved. And yeah, I think you're going to see a better Hartford Legion post-26 squad just because their high school team played better this year. That's like the Woodstock squad when they come in. Woodstock Legion team. I think you're going to see a much better performance this year from that squad. And again, see, that's the third man that tried to bunt, and he missed right there. But I like the strategy. I like the small ball. McLaughlin's deep at the corner. There's already been 1 bunt single here this inning. Remember, Riley was trying to bunt, and then they took out the bunt sign. He was able to single up the middle for an RBI, and there's a bunt attempt foul. And again, he was underneath the ball. Got lucky that didn't get popped up. 1-2 the count. And I know it's never too early to start mentioning anything that's really such a great cause. But the really big show going to be down at the Paramount Theater the first Saturday in November. And it's a fundraiser for the United Way of Rutland County. But it's a talent show. And I'll tell you, that's a fun night. You should really start playing for that first week of November. McLaughlin. Oh, see, there's a line over there, and you can't. If you catch it out of play, it doesn't matter. If it won't count as an out, so that's why he's kind of tightrope walking like a wide receiver in football along the sidelines there. Now, speaking of football, new MSJ head coach Chip Fort and the athletic director Dick Densmore at MSJ, or the athletic president, the athletic association president, told me I could come back and do MSJ football again. So keep that in mind. That might see some football action on Munger Vision again this year. That's a big strikeout. That's the third strikeout of the game for Sorelli. Runners can't advance. That's the first out of the second inning. Now Matt Paz, who in that first inning struck out swinging. And Sorelli, same pitch he tried to start him off with last time. And that stayed too far outside just like the last time. That'll be ball one. Getting those runners at first and second. Getting a pretty decent lead, and that'll be sailing outside for a 2-ball, no strike count. The on-deck hitter will be Mike Grant. Hartford with 1 run in so far here in the second inning. And I'll tell you, the crowd is improving as far as people showing. Oh, look at Sharon with the catch, the tag, and safe. When the dust settled, he was safe. Yeah, the numbers got to get better, though. I want to see the bleachers along the third baseline at least 3/4 full. Now, is that asking a lot? Come on. It's American Legion baseball, for God's sakes. Even if you only stayed for just one game of the doubleheader, I'd be happy. And that pitch missed. And it'll go to 3 balls, no strikes. This would load the bases up. Good pitch. As usually, the 3-0 pitch is in the count. That one was right there, and he elected to take it. The hitter did. So Paz will step back in. McLaughlin down at third base on the grass, right on the edge of the grass on the infield. That's going to be at least 1. Yet they'll take the shore out at first, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Runners do move up to second and third. Yeah, it wasn't hit hard enough for a double play attempt. Yeah, they tried to sell it. And there's a question. The umpire called him safe, say they did not touch him. It was a tricky play because you see I almost blew it by not following the ball, but the runner kept going, and Parker chased him back, kept the ball in. They're saying he did not make contact with the tag. So Mike Grant up now with 2 down. 1-0 Hartford. That run coming here in the top of the second. So a little action on the field. Everybody got a little riled up for post 31. Thought they had the play. What I was looking for, though, and this is when I honestly couldn't tell you if he tagged him or not, to be as truthful as I can be to you. But what makes me think that he didn't tag him was the head coach never came out to ask about it. So he must have had a good viewer, been content with it. Going to be a long throw to third. He's going to be safe. Yeah, the run will score. The tag came from a sweep attempt from Pace, and that was just going to be a tough play right from the get-go. So the second run will come in as Pat Riley scores. And now Jim got that up. He popped out to Matt Sharon. The shortstop is only time up. So 2 runs this inning for post 26 from Hartford, Vermont. White River in Hartford, that region, one of the overhead passes and all the train trestles, and then the Connecticut River right there. I mean, that's okay. The ride up's a lot better, but when you go up through Quechee and they got Vins there, that's a cool place to stop where they have all the raptors and birds. Of course, Quechee Gorge. Sorelli with that fake to third spin around disco move to first. Nobody bought it. Everybody stays in place. 2 balls, no strikes. And one of the problems Mike's had this inning is he's been pitching from behind in the count. That's going to be to McLaughlin. He'll set his feet from the grass. Get him. Hartford scores 2 runs on the top of the second. He'll take a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the second here on Munger Vision. Zach Pace will get things going here. Try to in the bottom of the second for post 31. Remember, it's just a few broadcasts ago that Zach Pace hit that 3-run homer out to deep center field. So, like I said, big guy, big bat, gets big blast off it. Riley, with his first pitch of the second inning, will just miss outside. He had a nice height on it, knee high, but just a little bit outside to be called a strike. So it'll be 1 ball, no strike. It's Pace, then Chad Ryan, and then Chris Parker due up here. And boy, talking about mixing it up, he came back with that breaking ball inside. He'll go to 2 balls, no strikes. Of course, Jeff Brewer is the third base coach. Tony Sorelli is the head coach, and George Bennett's over at first base today coaching. And they've gone now to a 3-ball, no strike count to Zach Aquistapace in a bottom of the second to the leadoff hitter for Rutland Post 31. Gave up 2 runs in the top half of the second. We're scheduled for 7. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. We liked it. Got him up and inside and tied him up, and it'll be a swinging strike. I just like the fact that he had the green light to go after pitch, 3-0. So now we take it to a 3-1 count, and I'll set that Hartford defense for just a sec. Paz is behind the plate. Riley's on the mound, and that actually might have brushed him. It was all of it anyways because it was ball 4, but Aquistapace will be on, and now Chad Ryan up. Of course, Chad Ryan's the left fielder, and he's got blazing speed out there, and he'll be going to the Shrine Maple Sugar Bowl game for football, as will Aquistapace. And they elect to hold Aquistapace on. It's going to be a foul ball right off from Ryan for a strike. Now Aquistapace being held on defensively by Gaudet, or they're at first base. Hartford's in the field defensively. Rutland's at the plate. 2-0 bottom of the second. Hartford with the lead. And as we will get set there, see Riley with his back to first base in the stretch. He'll glance over his shoulder and check the runner back. And good stop by Paz behind the plate on one of those breaking balls that didn't quite make it there, and he ate it up so that the ball would not get by him and allow Aquistapace to try to go to second base. Getting the starters for game number 2. I don't have that yet, so that just more reason why you stick around. This could become a double play. There's one. Yeah, they'll just get one. They'll take the leadoff runner out on that force out. As Aquistapace, so they go 4-6 on that. Now Chris Parker up for the first time today with a runner at first with good speed. This will give Tony Sorelli a lot of options on a steal, hit and run, whatever he wants to do here. But I start to look now for him to do something aggressively on the bases, as Hartford does also that throw over to first, and Ryan had just barely gotten off the bag when the throw came over, so he was relatively easily was back to the bag ahead of the throw. Yeah, and this Post 31 squad uses a running game a lot. Oh, that could be a lot of trouble. That's going to be a fair ball, and that's going to keep on rolling. And they're going to send him, no, third base, and Chad Ryan will scramble back. And that's going to be Parker at second with that double. And that's been his corner this year. Remember, he won that extra inning game here against Essex with a shot down in the corner. So Ryan will go to third. Chris Parker's at second. And Jeff Perry up now, the right fielder. This is the key man to me to the pitcher right here, because there's one down. If you can get him out without allowing those runners to move up or to score, then you'll have the 2 outs. Because right here it means a pop deep enough fly ball will score him because there's only the 1 down, or a slow enough hit ground ball will score him because there's only the 1 out. And that pitch outside for a ball. So Rutland, Post 31, trying to respond to those Hartford runs in the top half of the second. And that's going to get the run home. Yeah, they're going to go get the out. Smart play, the right play. So 1 run will come in, makes it now 2-1 Hartford. And the runner does move up to third base. So Chad Ryan will score. Parker will go to third. And the DH today, Gary Pelkey up. Like I said, they've been using him a lot lately in the pitching role. He's really filled in nicely. Gives him a left-handed pitcher to use. Breaking ball there for a strike. Runner down at third with decent speed himself. That's Parker down there. Yeah, for one of the older guys on the team, Parker still got his legs. He's pretty quick. 2-1 Hartford now, and they're trying to hold on to that lead and get out of this inning. And that'll be a fastball outside. Really sets up the fastball with all that breaking stuff, that junk stuff that Riley throws early in the count. I've only seen 1 hitter in almost 2 innings get started off in the count with the fastball. Again, Paz behind the plate, doing a nice job of just flopping all over the place to knock the ball down. Kind of looking like Dominic Hasek back there, the goalie for the Detroit Red Wings. But he's getting the job done. He's keeping the ball in play and a runner at third. And Riley will just be off the corner a tad. And that was a close pitch, but he didn't get it. The on-deck hitter is top of the order, Rob Dorian. But that will run it now to a 3-1 count. Again, we'll see if he's going to be greenlit here. If it's a pitch in his hitting zone, if they'll turn him loose, let him swing away at it. Oh, they do, and that's going to be to Avery. He'll get the long throw and just get him. But Rutland cuts the lead in half. It's 2-1 Hartford going into the third. Sean Fernandez, who walked back in the first inning, will start things off here in the third. Mike Sorelli will go to the full windup. And he'll still have Ryan Carter behind the plate at the catcher spot, and that's going to be a ball down low. First base, still big Zach Aquistapace over there. Chris Parker is at second base. Matt Scheringer's shortstop. Jeff McLaughlin's over at third base. Get the outfield set for you in just a second. We'll let this pitch come in, and that's going to be fouled back for a strike. In right field is Jeff Perry. In center field, Rob Dorian. And Chad Ryan is your left fielder for game number 1. And again, nice, muggy, warm summer day baseball weather. Again, he was showing bunt, pulled the bat back, pitch came in low, it was out of the strike zone, so 2 balls, 1 strike, and Hartford has not been bashful about showing bunt here, and I like that. I like that a lot. So again, Sorelli having a little problem getting up in the count or even in the count. He's had to pitch from behind in the count a lot here for a little bit over of the 2 innings plus. He's at 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. He'll get that one right there. 3-1 the count, taking all the way was the hitter, Fernandez. Tyler Perrin is on deck. In Hartford. Oh, that's a pop fly to Chad Ryan, and he'll glide back and make the catch. So good job of coming back from that deficit in the count to induce the out. It sounded pretty technical jargon for a fly ball out, huh? Tyler Perrin now, he struck out looking. He was one of the 3 strikeout victims of Mike Sorelli's. So they retired the leadoff batter, and Nick Avery will be on deck. And the pitch, too far inside, just stayed flat, never really snapped off for Sorelli. And we still got the Brattleboro and Bennington games coming up. Windsor's coming to town. Woodstock. A lot of good ball games left. Fairhaven. Like I said, a lot of good ball games coming up here at St. Peter's Field, which means on Channel 15 also. He brought some heat, and I liked it. It elevated, but elevated out of the strike zone, and it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike now. With 1 out and nobody on, Hartford up 2-1 in the third. Oh, great pitch. Boy, that has some cut action on it. And it'll make it a 2-2 count. So a lot of stuff coming up in our area for you to watch out for. And he did. He went for it. Oh, Sorelli made him look goofy out there. So Perrin will strike out for the 2nd time. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Sorelli. Now Avery up. He had a double and scored a run in that 2nd inning. Well, you got the Ethnic Food Festival tied in with downtown festivities at the end of July coming up down in downtown Rutland. That's always a blast. They've got this Friday Night Live going on where they close off Center Street and have the community come in. That's I haven't gotten to it yet, so I can't grade it out ABCD to you, but sounds like it could be fun. Like I already told you, the Shrine Game's coming up, the first. Oh, God, I don't want to give you a date. I think it's August 4th, but don't quote me on that. No 2 counts. Sorelli with 4 strikeouts. Looking for number 5 right here, and he will do it. Just froze him. Sorelli with 5 strikeouts. We'll have a 2-1 game. Hartford with the lead going into the bottom of the third. Top of the order for Rutland. Rob Dorian, Matt Scherin, Jeff McLaughlin, Ryan Carter. And Dorian grounded up to the 2nd baseman. Tyler Perrin is only time up. Sorelli for Rutland, post 31 with 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Now see how Robbie held up on that? This is the second time through the lineup now at looking at the mechanics, the pitching, the release point of Riley, and we'll see if the hitters have made any adjustments. And right there, Dorian didn't offer at that weak breaking ball. Oh, he's got a chance. He came in on the ball. It's going to be over his head and carry and roll to the wall. At least a double for Dorian. And that's going to be the, he's going to put the brakes on and come back into second base. And that's what I'm talking about. He laid off that pitch, the first pitch, which was that slow breaking ball that was out of the strike zone. He didn't offer at it like he did his first at-bat. And that made the pitcher come back. It was his choice, but he came back with the fastball and it was over the plate, and Dorian gave it a ride and a half. So Rutland with the tying run with good speed down at second base with Rob Dorian. Now Matt Sharon up. He grounded out to Tyler Barron at second base, also his first time up. And Pat Riley will be outside with the ball. Sharon, I don't think he had any intentions of bunting, but kind of slid his hands down the bat like he was getting him in bunt formation. So Riley now having to work with the leadoff hitter in scoring position. No, Matt was offering at it, and he went after it, and it wasn't pretty, Matt, to watch. You know, 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, and they're very familiar with these players, Coach Sorelli and the whole gang, so they might think it's going to be a low-scoring 3-2, 4-3 game, and could be playing to get that runner over, playing for the 1 run. Oh, a little chin music came up inside to Sharon. He spun away from it, and that's obviously a ball. It's going to make it 2 balls and 1 strike. The reason I say we're scheduled for 7 is we've had games this year that only gone 5 innings because of the mercy rule, and we've had games go 9 innings plus because we've gone into the equivalent of overtime into baseball, and that will miss. And all of a sudden, see the adjustment made so far in the first 2 batters I've watched here get their second look at Riley is they're not offering it that pitch that's tantalizingly looks good out of the hand of the pitcher, but then drops out of the strike zone way too early and it's not a strike. They're laying off that. So they're making Riley pitch from behind in the count and come back with the fastball like that, and they're sitting on the fastball. And they're going to send Dorian home looking for the tie in the ball game, and he will tie it up at 2-all, and Matt Sharon will have an RBI single. So I think what the coaching staff saw and is either relayed it to the hitters or the hitters saw it for themselves, but that is patience at the plate. Make them throw you strikes. Don't help them out. Jeff McLaughlin up. He reached on an error his first time up, got stranded at second base back in the first inning. 2-2, Matt Sharon at first base with good speed and a great stop over there by Gaudette on a pickoff throw that was very wild, and good job by Gaudette. So McLaughlin awaits his first pitch here from Riley in the 3rd inning. And it was there and had some pop on the ball. And you notice what he did right there? That's only the 2nd time that he started a hitter off with the fastball. That's because he doesn't want to go down in the count and not have him swing at the breaking stuff. So with a no ball, 1 strike count, runner going, that's a tough pitch. Yeah, it was a lazy breaking ball, and Sharon picked a great time to run. And the reason he might have done that because he didn't think they're going to throw back-to-back fastballs, and he gets right if he was thinking that, and he'll have the stolen base. And he'll put himself down at second base with nobody out, 1 run in, and McLaughlin with a chance to give Rutland their first lead of the afternoon here in the bottom of the 3rd. And see, he laid off from that, and it missed right there. It's a 2 balls, 1 strike. I'd like to thank the American Legion Post 31 Association for allowing me to videotape their baseball action and bring it to the community and put it on Channel 15. I appreciate that very much that you let me do this. That's going to be through the hole, and they're going to send Sharon home. Yeah, he'll turn the Jets on, and he will be out at the plate. Oh, what a job by the catcher. Paws are going down in the dirt and keeping the ball in the glove when there was contact made, and that throw generated from... Oh, is that awful? I'm looking. Skelza came in with the throw. So they will throw Matt Sharon out at the plate. McLaughlin took second base on the throw home. I'll tell you what, though, if that throw wasn't up the line, because a lot of stuff just happens by luck, by chance, for everybody. I'm not talking about Hartford, any sporting team. But Sharon slid into the glove, which locked the ball down. into the catcher's mitt, and he was out. And you could see him right there. Whoops, I didn't tell you who was hitting. That's Ryan Carter. He's up there. He struck out in the first. He ducked out of the way of that pitch. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. 2-2 the score in the bottom of the third. 1 out now on that throw to home base of Matt Sharon. And it'll be high for ball 2. 2-0 to Ryan Carter. Zach Aquistapace, the on-deck hitter for Rutland Post 31. A lot of times as a hitter, it's just subtle little adjustments to the pitcher. He got underneath it, and that looks to be playable. So over in left field, and it'll be caught for the out. And actually, I think I told you the wrong guy who threw the ball in. I did. No, I got it right. It's Skelza. That was Dennis Furman who made the catch there. So with 2 down now, Aquistapace coming up. And Aquistapace was forced out on a ground ball at second base. McLaughlin sitting down at second. That'll allow McLaughlin to get down to third base. Yeah, no throw. He'll be down at third base. Significance of that should be pretty obvious if you've listened to me for the last 12 years. They throw another wild pitch like that, he could score without a base hit, and the error will score him. Obviously a single would or a base hit. Or if Zach decides to take it out of the yard, it's just a shorter distance now for McLaughlin to jog home. Oh, he got underneath it, and it's carrying. It's off the bleachers, a home run for Aquistapace. Oh, did he clobber that? And he's going to put Rutland up 4-2 on a 2-run shot against the wind. Not to quote Bob Seeker, and he'll get a big round of applause here from his teammates. And there's the touch-up, a home run for Aquistapace. Oh, he's a big, strong kid. He's got a nice, smooth swing, too, when you watch him. So a little fireworks here. A little bit past the 4th of July, but now Chad Ryan up. He scored back in the second inning. 4-2 Rutland on a home run, a 2-run homer by Zach Aquistapace. That's going to be a foul ball. Yep, that brought the crowd to their feet. I tell you, when he got that up in the air, I watched that baby carry, and it just hit off the bleachers and dinged back into the playing field, but a home run. Ryan with an 0-1 count, and Pat Riley back to the full windup. And a good job laying off that pitch to even things out at 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Parker is the on-deck hitter. Nothing like a home run to just pump a team up, and ooh. Chad Ryan doing a little jackknife move, a little pike move if you're into diving or cheerleading. When they come down and jackknife like that, it's called the pike move. See how Riley reacts to giving up that home run. He'll miss high, and he'll go to 3 balls, 1 strike. So Rutland, who fell behind 2-0, has worked themselves back down to a 2-run lead at 4-2. And Ryan, 1 pitch away. Yeah, he'll take first base. So with 2 outs, Chad Ryan will be down at first base on the walk. And we'll have timeout called, and they'll have a little meeting on the mound. And they'll bring up Parker. Now don't forget, Chris Parker had a double. He ended up at third base in the second inning, but he's got that left field line there, that corner down there. It's kind of like his office out there, and that's where he's been tagging the ball a lot this year. Well, he's trying to keep this in and moving along. Parker will have to wait as a throw to first, and Ryan back well ahead of the throw. Chad Ryan, said it before, and I'll say it again, got that blazing speed down there. So he's a tremendous burden on the pitcher's mind as far as stealing the base. Good stop by Paz. He's done good work today, Paz has, behind the plate, the catcher. He's been working hard back there in this hot, muggy day with all that gear on, catcher's gear. And he's going to bring it back down and foul. But see that, man? That's that corner, and Parker able to pull the ball and zing it, and the runner was off on the pitch. He'll have to go back to first base, Ryan will, and Parker will have to come back to the plate. But tell you don't want to throw in those big flat breaking balls to Parker because he's just sitting back on that, doing a nice job of keeping the weight on that back foot and then exploding forward. That's why he's pulling the ball to the furthest point you can pull the ball. And the runner back to first base. Well, so far this inning, the highlight has been that 2-run homer by Quistapace. Runner going, and that ball's going to hit, and they'll never get Parker, will they? Oh, they just got him, and Parker will fall over the bag and hopefully be okay. And yeah, he'll get up and dust himself off, but Rutland with a 4-2 lead now going into the fourth over Hartford. There, I wanted you to see that. You don't think there's spirit in baseball. Don't tell Matt Sharon and Chris Parker that. And the pitcher up, Pat Riley, Dennis Furman, and then Logan Skelza as we're at the 7, 8, 9 part of the Hartford order. And that ball just missed, hitting Riley. He'll go to the backstop, and Carter, the catcher, will pick it up and fire it back to Sorelli, the pitcher, who's working with the lead now. 4-2 to be exact. Rutland with the 3-run third to take the lead. And that'll be off the plate. And neither pitcher's got that outside corner today on the calls. 2 balls, no strikes. And Sorelli, again, he's got 5 strikeouts in the ball game. That's going to be charged by McLaughlin. He'll set fire and, throw it away. That's a dead ball. That means he just gets second base automatically. He doesn't have to hustle, run. He can't go any further than that. So it'll be an error on, unofficially, an error on McLaughlin, and that'll put the leadoff batter down at second base. Furman had a single on a bunt his first time. Remember he bunted down the first baseline and everybody waited for it to kick fall and it never did? Well, he's got a runner down at second with nobody down. Let's see what they want to do now. This is an interesting place strategy-wise with the runner at second, nobody out, the number 8 hitter up. A lot of options here. And Sorelli busted him up inside too tight for a ball. I like that fastball on Mike's though, way he can get it to elevate. Again, he's had a little problems getting up in the count. And he'll be down 2-0. He seems to stumble off the mound there. And again, I don't know who they have scheduled for the second game starting pitcher. But they did use, that's the center field to Dorian. He's going to come in, and he's settling in. He makes the catch, and the runner able to move up from second base. You see right there is Pat Riley. He'll stay at second. Well, like I said, they used T.J. Oliver yesterday. In that first game, he went all 7 innings for Rutland, so obviously he wouldn't be available today. And then Gary Pelkey pitched yesterday in a second game, so I don't know. I don't think he would be available today. John Holtman's come and pitched this year, and it's been looked very good actually. That's a strike on the outside corner. Strike 1, 0-1 to count. Sorelli with 2 strikeouts in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. And that's going to be a foul ball down the Otter Creek side of the field, the first base side of the field. Now be different now, 0-2 count to Logan Skelza, who struck out looking back in the second. Then the top of the order on deck, Matt Pods. No, this is completely now the pitcher's dome. He owns this portion now. He's up 0-2 in the count. If he wants to get real, smirky and smartsy, he can do it for the next 2 pitches. Let's see what Sorelli likes to come to the plate with here. I liked it. Came with the high fastball. A little bit too high as far as getting to offer at it, but 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, if he's going to throw something tricky, this is the spot in the count to get it done. Now he's gone back to the 2-2 count. So like the count, everything even now between the pitcher and the hitter. 1 out, 1 on, 4-2 Rutland in the top of the fourth. And that's going to go through, and that'll be a single, and it's going to be charged hard by, nice job, Chad Ryan. See where he is? In accordance to the dirt. He charged that ball. He's got a real good arm anyways, but they couldn't score the run on him, send the guy home. So first and third. Paz struck out in the first, and then he grounded out to Chris Parker at second in the second. And this is going to be his third look already in the ball game in the fourth inning at Mike Sorelli. So Paz at the plate and Mike Grant on deck. Hartford with a great chance right here to get right back in the ball game. I mean, they're only down 2 runs anyways, but I mean, got a good scoring opportunity. See if they want to send the runner from first to second. Yeah. Oh, they said he was going. Where is he? Oh, they fooled me. See, looking through the viewfinder, I didn't have my left eye open like I usually do. So when I heard everybody saying he's going, I thought he's stealing second. Those silly kids, they're probably just doing that, so I do that. Nope. A little too far off the corner, and he'll be down in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. And Paz, like I said, now he should have an upper hand here against Sorelli. This is his 3rd time getting a look at Mike pitch. That'll be fouled off into the nice catch right there by somebody on the top step of the dugout in first base. Side for post third base side for post 31. So that'll make it 2 balls, 1 strike. 4-2 Rutland. Oh yeah. That one just didn't happen for him, and he'll run it to a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Runners at first and second, 1 out. This will obviously load the bases if he'll issue the walk here. Yeah, and they should go for the 1 down. Parker's got time. He's got time, and nope. You know what happened right there? And I'm not making excuses for Chris Parker, but the runner did a great job of screening him, distracting him and screening him and running in front of him. So everybody is going to move up and be safe. First, second, and third full of Hartford 26 players, post 26 players. Mike Grant up. He has singled, and he's reached on an error, so he's been on base twice. Like I said before, though, as far as a ball hits the outfield on a fly ball, good arms in the outfield for Rutland as far as throwing somebody, their turn to throw somebody out the plate, like post 26 from Hartford through Sharon out at trying to score at home base. They're going to go 1. They'll turn, and he won't get the double play. He would throw it was low coming back. Yeah, and that would have got him out of the inning with no damage done, but the run will come across, and they'll make it 4-3 now as Pat Riley scores. So the error does come back to get them. Now bring up Gaudette now. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up to shortstop and grounded out to third base. So he popped up to Sharon and he grounded out to McLaughlin. And 4-3 in Hartford with the tying run down at third base. The go-ahead run at first base. I'll tell you, that was a custom-made hit for a double play at ground ball. And the lefty with a 1-ball, no strike count. He'll lay out that, and again, just like we talked about patience with the Hartford players, or the Rutland players against the Hartford pitching, Hartford not nibbling at a lot of that junk stuff that Sorelli throwing. So we'll just recap. Hartford got 2 runs in the top of the second. Rutland countered that with a run in the bottom of the second. That made it 2-1 at the end of 2. And then Rutland with 3 runs in the bottom of the third took a 4-2 lead. And now Hartford with just 1 run in so far here in the fourth has cut the lead to 4-3. And that, somebody's going to run, and that's going to tie the game up. And it's 4-4. They're going to send the runner home. Hartford looking to regain the lead. They'll get it right here, and that runner's going to go in. See Quispe sneak in behind him, but a 2-run double with 2 down by Hartford's Jim Gaudette. He drove in Skelza from third, and then Grant. And I'm just catching up on my bookwork. Now Sean Fernandez up. He has walked and flied out to left field. So it's 5-4 Hartford. They respond with 5 runs here in the... That hit him, yep. That's the first batter hit by a pitch for Hartford today. Now bring up Tyler Perrin, who struck out looking in the first and strike out swinging in the third. He also represents the 8th hitter to come to the plate. We're going to have a meeting on the mound, and I'll pick you up on the other side of the fade. Coach Jeff Brewer coming out talking to his pitcher. And I'll tell you, it's a good spot for Cirelli to get better real quick. Like I said, he has struck Perrin out twice today. There are 2 down. So he can get out of this inning right here with runners at first and second. And that's going to be a base hit. Oh, nice job of hitting. They're going to send the runner home, and they're going to come in, and Carter would be late. Reached around a sweep tag, wasn't there, and throws up the line, and that'll be the 6th run of the ball game for Hartford, and that was a 2-out base hit, as Gaudette will score. And now Nick Avery up. So runners at first and second, and again, that was a nice adjustment on a pitch below the knee by Perrin, and he got an RBI out of it. Yeah, and Cirelli giving up 4 runs so far here in this 4th inning. Been a back and forth ball game. That's why I say scheduled for 7. We could be going a long time here, and he came back with the fastball. I'd like to see a lot more of that personally. 1-1 to count. Of course, it's irrelevant what I'd like to see. So pitch will come in, and that's going to be through the hole, yeah, and they're going to hold him up, yeah. Bases will be loaded, and the number 10 hitter in the inning now coming to the plate in Pat Riley. So bases juiced, 2 down, 4 runs in. Pat Riley up. He reached on an error and scored in this 4th inning. Prior to that, he had singled, drove in a run, and scored a run. So Hartford, their 3rd time through the order, getting a little beat on things now. And it'll be low and outside. And there's been no action in the Rutland bullpen behind their dugout to this point. Now that doesn't mean they wouldn't make a pitching change anyways. And it's going to be ball 2. And again, Cirelli's been down in the count for most of the ball game. The 3rd inning by far was his strongest inning. He had a 1-2-3 inning, struck 2 of the 3 batters out he faced. The other was just a fly ball to left field for an out. Yeah, and he won't get the call, and it's going to be 3 balls, no strikes. Bases juiced, and he's going to just start right here, 1 pitch at a time, because obviously a walk will force a run in. And he did it. That'll bring in the 7th run of the ball game, as Fernandez will come in. Perrin will go to 3rd, Avery to 2nd. Dennis Furman up. He had a bunt single back in the 2nd, and he flied out to Rob Dorian. And what they don't want to do, they don't want to spend. If next time the coach comes out, they'd have to remove Cirelli. That's why Sharon's over there talking to him. Now, there's a lot of bookwork being done by the umpire. That usually means there's a change. There must have been a courtesy runner brought in, and I missed it, for the pitcher. Yes, that's what happened. They brought in a courtesy runner for the pitcher. They brought in Ryan Wetzel to run for the pitcher. So the number 11 hitter of the inning, Furman at the plate. Base is still loaded. 7-4 Hartford now. And there's a strike. So Pulse 31, after trailing 2-1, took a 4-2 lead, and they trail now 7-4, and the damage might not be over yet. Well, I'll tell you what, if Furman could rethink that, he might stand still and get hit and let the run come in. It's just natural reaction to get out of the way of a ball coming at you. Fouled off for strike 2, 1-2, and this is big right here for Cirelli. If he gets him here, then he's out of the inning. They might talk to him in the dugout, and he might come back out for the next inning to pitch. If he doesn't get this guy, I got to believe his afternoon's done on the mound. And that's going to be Dorian. He's calling for it, and he does. A lot of damage done, though. Hartford up 7-4 going into the bottom of the 4th over Rutland on Munger Vision. Post 31 will have Jeff Perry, Gary Pelkey, then top of the order, Rob Dorian, all coming up here in the bottom of the fourth. A 5-run top of the fourth has propelled Hartford back in the lead at 7-4. That's going to be launched down toward Coach's corner and out of play. Yeah. That's just a long strike by Perry. Now, you got a feeling that neither pitcher is going to be around in the seventh inning. At least I do. We're already at 7-4, and we're just in the bottom of the fourth. So we're over the midway point now of the ball game. Again, head coach is Tony Sorelli. The assistant coaches are Jeff Brewer, George Bennett. Ron Fairbanks is the general manager, and Natasha McPhee is the bat girl. I don't see her over there today. And there is action in the Rutland bullpen now. It's a right-hander, and it looks like Ricky Dow over there. No, it's Chris Barker. That'll be in the dirt for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeff Perry. Leading things off here in the fourth. Just trying to think if they push Perry. Well, let me get this. Perry will dribble it down the first baseline. They'll pick it up, scoop, and get him. Let's say if they bring in Parker, they'll might put Perry at second base and bring Holtman into right field. Now Gary Pelkey up. He grounded out to the shortstop. Now the DH Pelkey grounded out to the shortstop Avery. And then on top of the order, Dorian on deck. There's 1 out, nobody on. 7-4 Hartford. You're watching Munger Vision on PEGTV channel 15. Been a lot of big plays today, but that 2-run homer by Quistapace still brought the crowd to their feet. And that was outside. That'll be a ball 1. You see Pelkey bats right-handed, but he pitches left-handed. And he went down low to get that. It's a foul ball. Pat Riley, the starter, still in there in the fourth. He has just the 1 strikeout. They came back in the first inning. And he's had some innings where he's been extended 5, 6, 7, 8 batters, and he's getting up in the pitch count right now here in the bottom of the fourth. That's going to be a base hit through the hole at short, and that'll put a runner at first base. Pelkey, with good speed, will be on at first base with the 1 out. And with Dorian the hitter now, I mean, this is a good combination. If you want to get funky on the bases with steals or hitting runs or whatever you want to do. Dorian, his last time up, had a double and eventually scored. There's a throw to first base. You can see Pelkey head first slide back, but he was there well ahead of the throw. So everybody will get set for the pitch to come in to Rob Dorian. And it came in letter high, and he laid off it. It's going to be a ball. And again, Rutland coming off a split yesterday with Hudson Falls, New York. They lost the first game 2-1. A well-pitched game by T.J. Oliver. And then they won the second game 3-2. And each pitcher's had a little problem from getting up in the count consistently today. So it goes to 2 balls, no strikes to Rob Dorian. Matt Sharon is your on-deck hitter for Rutland Post 31. That's going to be the shortstop. Avery bobbles it. That means there's... Oh, can't believe he went to second. He threw the ball away. That's going to send the runner Pelkey to third base, and they're going to wave him around. They're going to send him home. Oh, he hesitated, and he's going to be safe. He took quite a journey to get down there. There's Dorian at second. He took quite a journey to get home, but he scored. That'll make it 7-5 now. Dorian will end up at second base. Matt Sharon up. He grounded out to second his first time up, Sharon did, and then he had an RBI single, and he was eventually thrown out the plate in the third inning. He had a very busy third inning. Oh, no, when Avery bobbled the ball, I thought for sure he was only going to try to get the 1 out at first. Because I don't believe there was any ways they were going to get the runner at second, and he threw wide of the bag, and it became a moot point. Jeff McLaughlin is your on-deck hitter. And like I said, I have a feeling I don't think either pitcher will be around in the 7th inning. 7-5 now. Rutland with 1 out, 1 run in, 1 ball, no strike to count. And that runner at second base got a lot of juice in his legs. It's very possible that this is the head coach coming out to talk to Riley, the pitcher. I don't know if he's going to make the change now. I got a feeling he's going to let him go a little bit deeper. But again, it's very irrelevant what I think. It's a matter of what the coach will do, and that's the bottom line. And I've always understood that. Yeah, he's going to leave him in there. So Riley, though, remember, this could be the next hit he gets up, or the next whack will probably be his day's work done. Again, a lot of games coming up on Channel 15. Just watch the bulletin board to get the times and dates, or the listings in the Herald. That's going to be past Dorian. Avery. See, Dorian did the same thing. Great job of creating a distraction in front of the fielder, and that's going to be a run scored, 7-6. And there's Sharon over at first base. But you got the bat on the ball. He put pressure on the defense. Dorian can't get hit by the ball. Then it become interference. But what he did was Dorian planted himself right in front of the shortstop and then jump roped over the ball. Now McLaughlin up with the tying run at first base. McLaughlin's reached on an error and singled. He's also scored a run. And Paz will go way outside to grab that. The catcher did a nice job there making the catch. Again, if I had to guess a pitch count, I would say we're nearing the 65, 66 pitches thrown mark. Which isn't immense, but we're only in the 4th. And 2 balls, no strikes. And again, McLaughlin will step out, take a look down to the third base coach, Jeff Brewer. That's right off the end of the bat fall. Because it doesn't get any easier for the pitcher after McLaughlin. You have Carter and Aquistapace both due up at the number 4 and number 5 spot. 7-6 as Rutland and Hartford go back and forth here in a highly entertaining ball game for the fans. And again, the bleachers have some scattered spots there where there are people. Then they're going to still try to get the double play, and they're going to miss, catch it. And Sharon, who was off trying to steal second, is going to end up at third base. And yeah, he's got to be aware where the ball is. Oh, there's that head first Pete Rose style play. And I just tell you, I got to believe Sharon was enough of a distraction at second base to allow that throw to go through and make the error. So what could have been, I didn't think it was ever going to be a double play, becomes a situation where first and third, they didn't get anybody out on that play. And still only 1 down for Ryan Carter. And Ryan Carter today struck out in the first and flied out to left field. So Carter is due for a timely hit right here. Not that I want to put any pressure on him. First and third, McLaughlin getting a pretty healthy lead over there at first base, and Riley's still on the mound, and he's going to go to first base, and McLaughlin will be back safe. So both runners, first and third, Sharon at third, and McLaughlin at first. Very fast, very smart, good baseball instincts. But I tell you what, I'd stay off that stuff. And we'll see if Rutland, I think it's just a matter of time before they send McLaughlin on a steal attempt to go to second base. And Carter, the right-handed hitting catcher at the plate, will watch that one sail outside. Paz tried to suck it back in and frame it for a strike. Couldn't fool the umpire. And we go to 2 balls, no strikes. Like I said, Aquistapace is on deck. He's already hit a 2-run homer today. I'll tell you what, Carter got around on that and ripped it foul. He was sitting on that and he turned on it. It'll be a 2-1 count now. Matt Sharon representing the tying run in the bottom of the 4th. He's at third base for Rutland. Riley Long look in. A lot of different signs were flashed that time by Paz, the catcher. And that's going to be through. Well, they'll grab, and they're still going to make the attempt, and they'll cut it off. They're going to throw to third base, and McLaughlin will be in. They'll tie the game up on that RBI single by Carter, as it was almost to the outfield grass by the time they were able to retrieve it. Good piece of base running by McLaughlin, but he's only allowed to go to third base because they foolishly tried to throw all the way across on a lob throw to first to get Carter. If they just eat the ball, it'd be a first and second situation. 7-7. It's 7-up time. Now, Quista last time up, left the park, I think around the 320 mark. That's a fastball they started him off with, but it's going to be too far outside for a ball. Now, Carter at first, it is not out of the question that they would send him. I don't think they would. I don't think they want to interfere with the at-bat here with a Quista. Oh, it's going to be playable. Yeah, see him settle down, and there's the catch. They release McLaughlin. He'll come in and give Rutland back the lead. So that's the third RBI of the game for Quista. And that sacrifice fly. Now Chad Ryan up. He's the 8th batter to come to the plate. He has scored a run today, and he's also walked. So it goes 8-7, Rutland, and they're still going, Riley. They're kind of riding them out here. And that one, Paz can't do much about that. And you see Carter down at second base now on that wild pitch. And there's only the one out. Rutland with another big inning here. Okay, and I don't know who asked for time, but the umpire gave him time, whoever it was. And Chad Ryan all set. Riley, the pitcher, all set, and the pitch goes sailing high. Riley just really seems to be laboring now as he's gotten to the bottom of the 4th. Again, it's been a back and forth ball game, which I like those. That'll be low for a ball. Good eye right there by Ryan. It's the body language I look for on a pitcher more than anything, and right now Riley's got the head down, the slumping shoulders after he receives the ball back from the catcher. That's a good pitch. Taken all the way with a 3-0 count. Now becomes 3 balls, 1 strike to Ryan. Parker is the on-deck hitter for post 31. And Riley dropped down sidearm, brought that pitch in, and they'll work it back now to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, the Southern tournament, on my schedule, I double-checked it, is being held here at St. Peter's Field, and that starts the first weekend of August. Yeah, so Saturday you could go to the Shrine game, and then Sunday you could come to the Legion second day of the playoffs. And that's going to be down to third. He'll look the runner back. That's a long throw, and he'll get him. That was a real big league job right there. I had that as that's only the second out, but everybody's running off the field. Okay. We'll go with it. It's 8-7 Rutland. I gotta check my book. So the number 9 hitter, Skelza, is up, and he has struck out, and he singled, and he scored a run for Hartford. And Mike Sorelli will come out to start this inning off. And that defense stays the same with Quista at first, Parker at second, Sharon at short, and at third base, McLaughlin, Carter behind the dish. And that pitch will be low for a ball. And Perry stays in right field, Doreen's in center, and in left field is Chad Ryan. And I did check my book, and that was the third out. I kind of gotten lost in space there, but that's going to be through the hole. Yep, nice attempt by both McLaughlin and then Sharon, but that'll be a leadoff single. And again, this game's gone back and forth. So in the 5th inning, Logan Skelza will be on with that single. Yeah, it was 2-1 at the end of 2 innings at play, post 26 from Hartford with the lead. Then it was 4-2. Rutland took the lead going into the 4th, and a 5-run inning by Hartford in the top of the 4th gave them this 7-4 lead. And then Rutland countered with 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. That's where we're at now with 8-7 Rutland. And that is a strike. Right on the outside corner of the plate. So Sorelli from the stretch will look in, and Quistapes will hold the runner on defensively over at first base. Runner going, he pitched a great pitch to go on, and yep. You see Sharon went up in here and got the ball, but just a big, slow breaking ball. Took forever to get to the plate and just gave that base runner an extra step and a half, 2 steps on the throw from Carter. Matt Paz is at the plate. He has struck out, grounded out to second, and reached on an error. So Paz has been doing a lot of good work behind the plate, catching now at the plate, trying to get things tied up. He's got the tying run down at second base. Good backhand stop by Carter. Again, Sorelli has labored other than the third inning. He's had some pretty extended innings here. He's up in the pitch count right now. And that's a good pitch. That's a real good pitch. That'll make it a 2-2 count. That's probably had the most velocity of any pitch I've seen Mike throw today. I don't think he's... see, he went back to that junk stuff. He'll throw to third. No, he'll be back. And they're going to throw it away. We're going to have a tie game on the errors. Yep. So an unearned run here has tied things up at 8. And Paz with a 3-2 count at the plate, and see Parker coming out to talk to Sorelli. No, I can't foresee them if he has an extended inning here, sticking with him to the end of it, the inning. Mike Grant on deck. Paz now the base is cleared in an 8-8 game. They'll come back to Sorelli. He'll make sure he's got a piece of it, throw to first, and get the out. So a 1-3 ground out will become the first out of the inning. Grant singled in the first, reached on an error in the second, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the fourth. So he's been productive. He's been on base all 3 times today. This is his 4th time up. A Parrot and an 88 up there. 8-8. Sharon will snap over and throw it away. Yep. That's a dead ball, and that will go. Yeah, that'll go send the runner down to second base. So post 31, who's been really good this year about not hurting themselves with mistakes, are having a couple here in this game. I think unofficially I have it as 4 in the ball game. 2 this inning. And now the go-ahead runs at second base of Mike Grant, and Jim got that up. He's flied out to Matt Sharon at short. He's grounded out to Jeff McLaughlin. Then he doubled his last time up, drove in 2 runs, and eventually scored himself. So he's been accountable for 3 of those 8 Hartford runs today. And that's going to be foul, way out of play. Yeah. That's going to be strike 1. So in a 5-inning game scheduled for 7, we're in the 5th inning of a game scheduled for 7 innings. There we go. That sounds better. It's 8-8. And Sorelli to the plate. And that's going to be Dorian chasing it down, tracking the ball, and being called off at the last second by Chad Ryan. He'll fire to the cutoff, and runner will move up to third base. So that go-ahead run just down to third base now. Yeah, two fast guys out there, and good communications between Dorian and Ryan as they call each other off. Fernandez was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning and scored in that inning. And Sorelli trying to leave that runner over at third base. Mike Grant trying to leave him hanging out there. Get out of this inning still tied at 8-8, or tied at 8-8. They were ahead 8-7 coming into this inning. Couple errors this inning certainly didn't help Rutland Post 31. Oh, I missed it. Quistapes made a great play, and I missed it. I apologize, Zach. He speared a line drive, saved a run. It's 8-8 going in the bottom of the 5th. So we have a new pitcher for Hartford here in the bottom of the 5th. It's a shortstop, Nick Avery, and what they did was just rotated everybody. Avery went from shortstop into the pitcher's position. The pitcher Pat Riley, he went and played second base, and the second baseman, Tyler Perrin, he went to shortstop. Are you with me on that? Okay. And that's going to be to third base. Oh, what a backhanded short hop scoop, and then he threw it. Nope, he's going to be safe. Parker will be on first base with that unofficial infield single. It was a good job by Godet over there not to let the ball get out of play. Now bring up Jeff Perry now. He's got an RBI today. And they're going to bring in a courtesy runner for Chris. Wow. They bring in John Holtman. Now that could be because they're going to warm Parker up and he'll pitch the next inning. 8-8 the score in the bottom of the fifth. Yeah, and if you're keeping score at home, first of all, you got to get a life. But second of all, Hartford had 2 runs in the second, 5 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth, and that's how they've arrived at their 8 runs. Rutland with 1 run in the second, 3 in the third, and 4 in the fourth. That's how they've arrived at their 8 runs, and the runner back safe. And that throw over to first base. Well, we're supposed to go 7. It's looking more and more like we could be working some OT today. Holtman, usually the starting right fielder, has got the start of the game on the bench today. But it is a doubleheader. I expect to see John out there probably in the second game in his fielding position. And boy, I just missed. That was a close pitch to take, but they'll call it a ball, and that'll make it a 1 ball, no strike count. Again, the breeze is blowing out to left center field. It really hasn't been a factor today at all. Whoa, Perry just got almost clipped his sideburn there. So 2 balls, no strikes. Avery with nobody out. And he's back safe. Parker has led this inning off with an infield single. Again, it's a warm day. It's a muggy day. Great stop behind the plate by Paz. Avery kind of rushing between pitches right now. Yeah, and Parker is in the bullpen behind the dugout, and that's what we'll expect to see is he'll come into pitch in the top of the 6th for post 31. And Holtman with good speed down there, faked going down to second base. So with a 3 ball, no strike count, we'll see if they'll turn him loose here. No need to. The pitch wasn't hittable. First and second base now, as Jeff Perry will go down on the walk. Now bring up Gary Pelkey, who's 1 for 2 today. He singled and scored a run in the fourth. And Pelkey's the DH. He's hitting for the pitcher's position today. And then the top of the order is on deck. Yep. Again, you could see him wanting to use small ball to advance the runners on. Well, there's nobody down. If you can bunt the runners over to second and third, yeah, it's a great idea. Let's see if they keep the bunt on here. He's got to get a little more bent knee action on his bunt attempt. That was one of his problems. Oh, boy. Well, he's just got the appearance of somebody who's not used to practicing the bunt or called on the bunt. But he's down in the count 0-2. Now, the likelihood of keeping the bunt on really diminishes here, but doesn't mean that they're going to take the bunt off. So Pelkey with an 0-2 count, runners at first and second. And that's as good as a bunt right there. That's better than a bunt. Yep. A wild pitch by Avery allows the runners to go to second and third with nobody down. And what that means is they don't need the bunt anymore, and they didn't need to waste it out to score a run here. They bring the infield in. Hartford does, and that's fouled off. That's a great 2-strike swing to stay alive. Yeah, Hartford's brought the infield in to try and cut the runner down at the plate. Well, you got to figure we're at the bottom of the 5th, 8-8. Avery goes back to the full windup and hit him. Bases loaded. Got him right between the 1 and the 8. I'd say that's taking one for the team, but he really never had a chance to think about it to get out of the way. So Avery's got the bases juiced. Nobody out. Top of the order up in Dorian. The makings of a huge inning for Rutland Post 31. Dorian has scored his last 2 times up. He's got a double. And he'll watch that one go outside. Well, Rutland could bust this thing open. Even though you can see that no lead's going to be safe today, but I mean, they could get some breathing distance going into the 6. It's only scheduled for 7. Now, on the flip side of that, you can really deflate yourself and pump the other team up if for some reason you don't get a run in this inning. Whoa, and that's going to be playable. Yes, pause. We'll make the catch, and yeah, that's one thing right there. Nobody can move up. 1 out now. I'll tell you that pause. See, not only did he track the ball and make the catch, do you see him hustle back? Nobody's covering the home base. Well, I'll tell you, Matt Sharon's not a bad guy to have up in this situation. Very clutch hitter. He's 2 for his last 2. He started the game off grounding out to second. And he's going to get the job done. There's the go-ahead run. They're going to bring another runner around? No. So Sharon, with that great piece of hitting, reached out on an outside pitch and took the ball, went with it, took it to the opposite field. So that's 2 RBIs for Matt Sharon today. Holtman scored. He came in to run for Parker, and bases stay loaded now with the 1 out. Jeff McLaughlin up. He scored twice today, and he's got a single. 9-8 Rutland now in the bottom of the 5th over Hartford. These are usually like the second games of a doubleheader, so maybe we'll reverse roles today, and this will be the longer version. This has been a very good game to watch, though. Maybe the second game we'll get some big stud out there, and he'll just pitch a no-hitter, and he'll zip right by. Because what I did this morning, I got up this morning about 3:30 like I always do. And I'm not a fitness freak. If you ever saw me, you would know I wasn't. But I did my 3-4 mile walk, which has made room for all the calories I was going to put on today. Whoa, McLaughlin. That ball. Yeah, they're saying, okay, they're letting him go down there. Okay. I'm just keeping track of everything they're doing here. Oh, when I got home, I made meatballs and then a big pot of sauce. So I got sauce and meatballs, and I'll go home and just do a little pasta and have a carbohydrated up supper. So Ryan Carter up now. Now the only thing that would change my game plan is if these 2 games ran into like 6:30, 7 o'clock finish time. Then I'd have to eat something light, no matter if I wanted to or not. Being an old guy. Oh, Carter jacks at the center field, and that should get the run in. Yeah, he's going to tag, and he's going home. The throw would have had him, and they will get another run, and that'll become an 11th run of the game for Rutland. And a good job of base running right there, and I like that. Pelkey will come home and score the 3rd run of the inning. And other runners obviously stay at 1st and 2nd. So an 11-8 lead now for Rutland. And Ryan Carter with 2 RBIs today. Niquistapes with 4 RBIs today. He's at the plate. He had a 2-run homer. Oh, I'm sorry, he had 3 RBIs. I want to do my math again. It's awful math. 2 and 1. 2 and 1 is still 3. And again, the big number, 2 outs now. Hartford just trying to get that elusive 3rd out. Keep the damage down to just 3-run deficit right now. And we'll see a new pitcher on the mound for Rutland at the top of the 6th. And I do believe it'll be Mr. Parker. Boy, and these guys have done a good job from that 3rd inning on of really making Hartford pitchers come into the plate with real strikes here. Now, and I'd be very selective to Quistapes too after seeing him jack one out. So that'll juice the bases up for Chad Ryan. Chad Ryan scored a run back in the 2nd inning, and he's grounded out to 3rd base. And they're going to come out and talk to Avery. They're going to stick with Avery, and he's going to look at Ryan, and it's going to be ball 1. I don't think it's a bad move to stick with Avery. You got 2 outs, and you've seen the ability all day to be able to score runs. If you're Hartford. Now, that's provided that he doesn't, self-destruct here and melt down. But what you're trying to do is just get that last out and get Avery through this inning. There's a strike. Remember, the bases are loaded. 2 balls, 1 strike now. 3 runs in this inning for Rutland. They've broken that 8-8 tie. I still think Avery's rushing between his pitches. Now, I like a good pace pitcher. I really do. But then you can just, that's also when you're throwing well. You know, you catch and fire, you got a rhythm. He doesn't have that right now. He's got a 3-1 count. Now, see, he took not a long time, but he took a little longer between pitches there, and that was better mechanics, better form, everything. He's got a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 11-8 Rutland in the bottom of the 5th, and he walked in a run. Good eye by Chad Ryan. Now bring up Chris Parker. Remember, Parker started this inning off with an infield single, and then his courtesy runner, John Holtman, eventually came around to score. And the pitch on the way will be a good stop by Paz behind the plate. It's Parker, then Perry on deck. And the pitch. Whoa, up around the nose for a ball. Now, this is the thing. How long will he go with Avery? It leaves at 4. He's used 2 pitchers up already, and that's a strike. Talking about Hartford, they've used 2 pitchers up already, and we're only in the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, and Parker will ask for time. He's got something in his eye. He stepped out and started wiping his eye. It's been a long inning for Avery, and this has been his first inning to work for Avery. And that will be out of play over the first base dugout toward Otter Creek and out of play. So we'll have a 2-2 count. Rutland with a 12-8 lead. And you're watching Munger Vision on PEGTV channel 15. And they're going to appeal, maybe? Nope, they didn't point down, and it's going to be a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Again, the bases are loaded. He'll walk in another one. And I'm watching the coach just agonize over there on a Hartford bench. Now Jeff Perry up, and he's walked and scored in this inning already. This 5th inning has become quite a long tour of duty here for Hartford. Swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 1. 13-8 now, the lead's at 5, and I do believe that's the largest lead by either team today. Well, I don't know. He's circling in, and oh, he dropped it in foul territory. Oh, I gotta tell you, that's gotta be killing Avery. And he looked to have it all under control. There's no sun in his eyes. There's no breeze to contend with. And Skelza dropped the 3rd out. But after such a frustrating inning by Avery, the pitcher, that had to just be a dagger in his heart. So another chance here. Oh, and I'll be high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Don't forget, there were 2 strikes in the count on that pitch right there, and that was just a little bit out of the strike zone. He'll get him, but Rutland rallies to take a 13-8 lead into the 6th inning over Hartford. That new pitcher is Chris Parker, and his first pitch will be low in the dirt for a ball. Matt Merritt has gone in to take Parker's spot at second base, so it's now Aquista Pace at first, Merritt at second, Sharon at short, and McLaughlin still at third, and of course Carter behind the plate, and that's going to be ball 2 from Parker. It's going to be Perry in right field, Dorian in center, and left fielder still Chad Ryan. There is a strike, makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. It's only the 2nd pitcher used today by Rutland's head coach Tony Sorelli. Mike Sorelli got the... That's Parker's pitch right there. That's his pet peeve right there, that big old breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And time called. I'm not sure who called it. I would have to say the way everybody reacted, it was the batter that called it. But this is Tyler Perrin up, followed by Nick Avery and Pat Riley. He struck him out. Carter will pick it up, set his feet, throw to first, and they'll throw it away. I could tell you, I don't know what's going on with any of the teams today, both Hartford and Rutland, because Quistipe stepped out of the line of the runner to make a target, and Carter threw to the outside of the runner. And they just didn't make the connection. It just happens. It's just crazy stuff. So he got the strikeout, which doesn't count for an out because the runner's at first base. Now Nick Avery up in a 13-8 game, Rutland with the lead. And neither team has been able to hold the lead when they do get it today, so. Parker over to first. Nick Quistipe is usually like flypaper over there at first base, just catches everything hit near him or thrown to him. Ooh, just off the plate. So 1 ball, no strikes. After Avery, like I said, Pat Riley, who was the starting pitcher for Hartford, is due up. This could be a double play. Nope, he bobbled it and he just got the certain out. That's really smart by Sharon. He bobbled the ball and they didn't want to take away from that play and not get any outs. So he got the sure out. Runner does go down to second base. Yeah, Pat Riley scored twice today. He's got an RBI and he's got a single. So he's done pretty well for himself at the plate today. As Parker, that one broke in high for a ball. Now, it's not automatic, but I don't think we'll probably see Carter catch the second game. There's a 1-1 count. You see the hitter right there kind of bend and break back on that pitch because it starts right at the hitter and then it curves right over the plate. And that's what sets up what we just saw there. It was a fastball. He did miss with it, but as far as sequencing his pitches, those 2 breaking balls set up that fastball. Now it came in high, and he'll have a 3-ball, 1-strike count now with a runner at second base. There is 1 down. And this one, it's not going to be over until it's over. Not to sound like Yogi Berra, but that'll be a walk. So a walk and an error, and Hartford's in business. Dennis Furman up, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. He's 1 for 3 today. He had a bunt single back in the first, and he flied out to the center fielder, Robbie Dorian, twice. And Parker from the stretch. He'll check the runner back to second. There he is, and now he'll come to the plate. And he'll fade to the inside, and it'll be a 1-ball, no-strike count. So Parker, this is the guy he's got to get right here, and there's a strike. Yeah. To have a chance of having a successful inning here, to me, this is the spot in the inning. Carter, nice job of getting down with that big body he is and blocking the ball and chasing it down. I'll tell you, Ryan, he's a good-sized young man. He's a big, strong kid, but he's so quick. Just surprised how quick he is for his size. You can see right there, he got after the ball. Oh, pitcher's pitch right there, my friend. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In case you're just turning it on, this is the first game of a doubleheader. Rutland has got a 13-8 lead over Hartford. Oh, you can see Parker's body language. He thought he'd pulled the string on that one. Full count now. A walk here would load the bases up for Hartford. And it's going to be put into play. Merritt will flip and get Juan. Sharon to first. Sequence the base, make sure he got the scoop. So to me, they got the critical out. They got the second out. Nobody scored. Runners do go to the first and third. But now it's up to Parker. Now Logan Skelza up. He struck out in the second, singled and scored in the fourth, and then singled and scored in the fifth. So Parker trying to leave those runners hanging out here. Yeah, the old disco move. Fake the third, spin around, look at first, and think about third, and just ended up doing nothing. And I said this before in many broadcasts. I have seen that work. It's a foul ball. Steve Shortle, great athlete for post 31, made that work a couple times actually. And there'll be a little break in the action here as they have Chad Ryan chased on that foul ball that hit the bleachers and ricocheted out on the playing field. So they'll make it a no ball, 1 strike count, 0-1 to count. Top of the order on deck, and Matt Paz. And Hartford wants to really capitalize here with these runners. They're down by 5. That'll be a dribbler foul. Well, with an 0-2 count, it's the pitcher's delight here. He can reach into his grab bag of pitches, and he can be as cute as he wants, or he can just be straightforward and just try to blast it away and get the job done quick. And Parker. Remember, he had the third out earlier in this inning, and he got in the fish after it. Carter will try again. He's going to pick it up, throw down his acquisitive pace, and nope, he just ate the ball. Smart play. Yeah, he should have been out. That's what they're arguing. Yeah. Oh, believe me, if anybody knows baseball inside and out, it's Mr. Carter. But to no avail. And what he did smart there is he didn't try to force the throw in. But that's the second strikeout that Chris Parker's had in this inning. That's been a drop third strike. So he's actually recorded 4 outs so far, but he's still pitching. 13-8 bases loaded, 2 down for Paz. And I tell you what, a base hit right here. And we're going to have a real interesting 7th inning. And Dorian got it under control. He'll get it. They'll strand 3, and we'll stay 13-8 Rutland going into the bottom of the 6th. Well, one thing's for sure. Nick Avery, number 22, the pitcher for Hartford, is going to have a much better 6th inning. His team down by 5 with just 1 at bat, with just 3 outs left. And Matt Merritt getting his first chance to swing the bat today. Remember, he came in defensively when they moved Parker to the pitching spot. He came in to take over Parker's spot at second. Matt Merritt getting his reps. An 0-2 count. Now, Matt Merritt has made the most of his playing time this year. He's had some very impressive stints in the field defensively. And Avery and Paz remain the battery out there for Hartford, post 26. And see what Avery did? That was the pitch that got him in a lot of trouble in that 5th inning. But I know you got to throw more than one kind of pitch. I know. There you go. I like that. I'm the kind of guy, which is irrelevant what I think. But when you're up in the count, I don't believe in getting cute. I like to elevate, throw that fastball, if I had the ability to do it. Dorian up now. He's had a good day as usual at the plate. Both in the field and at the plate. He scored 2 runs this ball game. He's had a double. And he's been just rock solid out in center field. There's 1 out. Nobody on base. 13-8 in the bottom of the 6th. Scheduled for 7. And Hartford, Nick Avery trying to hold, make a defensive stop here, and then get up in the top of the 7th and rally. That pitch called a strike. That'll even everything up at 1-1. And of course, Dorian, very good, knowing that strike zone will lay off that. It'll be 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, Avery, a little wild there, comes in and makes it a 3-ball, 1 strike count. At a later date, you'll see the 2nd game of this doubleheader, as long as the weather permitted it to get in. Fouls it off. That'll make it a full count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. And again, Hartford's in the field defensively in case you're just turning it on. They have the lighter blue uniforms on. And Rutland at the plate. And each team's held leads throughout this contest. Oh, man. Avery wanted to know where that was. Yeah, see him asking. I got to tell you, that looked pretty sweet from here, but Dorian will get a walk and be on base for the third time today. Matt Sharon up. He's got a couple RBIs today, a couple singles. He scored a couple runs. As always, very efficient. And that'll miss low. And again, Avery looking at the umpire, wanting to know where the pitch was. The throw to first, and he'll be back safe. That breeze still blowing out there to left center field. Okay, and I missed it because I was looking down at my book, but he threw over to first, and Dorian slid back safe. Sorry about that, but at some point I got to keep my book. That's going to be over the backstop and out of play. Yeah, and like I said, there's a couple 9-inning games scheduled for later in July, but basically, other than July 22nd, there's a Legion game going on at St. Peter's Field on the weekend, so you can just get hooked up and come right down and watch the games in person. And it's going to be over to second base. And Riley will throw to first, get the out. The runner does advance to second, but they should be more worried about outs right now since that's the second out of the inning right there. Now McLaughlin up. He himself has scored 3 runs today. He's had a single, and he's also walked. He's also reached on an error. And Avery wanting to end the inning right here with those 2 outs. No, he'll nibble and not get that. Carter on deck. Ryan Carter, the on-deck hitter behind McLaughlin. No, and they haven't given out outside corner in that position. You see the long walk back around the rubber by the pitcher Avery. The pitch will come in, and that'll be to the backstop, and Dorian, no way they'd ever throw him out. I can't even believe they threw down there the way the ball's been bouncing around the infield, but they did, and it was knocked down by the third baseman, but Dorian will end up at third base on the wild pitch. 13-8. Rutland Post 31 American Legion baseball action on Munger Vision on PEGTV. Oh, that's a good pitch. Yeah, that one was loaded for bear. That was a 3-0 count. Now it's a 3-1 count. McLaughlin's going to have an RBI. What a piece of hitting by McLaughlin. He was upset he didn't swing at the pitch before that. This time it was basically same location, same everything, and he just crushed it. And that'll drive in Dorian. And again, McLaughlin being his typical self, just a good ball player out there. Now Ryan Carter up. He's got 2 RBIs today. That makes it 14-8 now, and that's definitely the largest lead of the ball game by either team now. And that caught the plate, but definitely was high. Broke across the letters. It'll be ball 1. And like I said, terrible place to be in. If you can't get by Carter, then you got to face the Quista-Pace. Nothing like bringing a couple of howitzer cannons in back to back. McLaughlin. Carter will hold up on that high fastball. It'll be 3 balls, no strikes. Let's say McLaughlin down at first base getting a pretty decent lead on that walk-off from first base. He is being held on defensively by Gaudette. And boy, I tell you, Avery got those 2 outs, and they're dangling him out there. I don't know how long they're going to go with him. That's a walk to Carter. Quista-Pace, back in the 3rd inning, hit a 2-run homer. 300-plus feet. Avery will miss down low again. So he's labored in his 2 innings of work, Avery has. You see Paz well outside the strike zone when he caught that one for 2 ball, no strike count. Well, not that they would get that far, but they go past the Quistapase. Chad Ryan's the on-deck hitter. Quistapase went down a little bit, got it, and fouled it down the first baseline out of play for a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Like I said, it's hard to believe at the end of 2 innings of play, Rutland trailed 2-1. Then they've scored every inning since. They've had a 1-run second, a 3-run third, a 4-run fourth, and a 5-run fifth. That's foul ball, strike 2. So, yeah, they've gone 3, 4, 5 in third 3, and the fourth 4, and the fifth 5. Not that that means anything. I think that's kind of cool that the numbers coincided. 2-2 the count, 2 down, 2 on, 1 run in, 14-8 Rutland, post 31 with the lead. And a Quistapase at the plate. Nope, no pitcher should have a problem. That call has not been made all day. Full count to a Quistapase. He'll walk him, that'll load him up. So the bases are juiced for Chad Ryan. Ryan today he has scored a run, he's driven in a run, he's had a single, and he's also walked. And he's asking for time. He wants to get settled down here. I don't think they're bringing on. No courtesy run or nothing. Chad Ryan will take ball 1, low and inside from Avery. I got to really think that they're just going to finish out the game with Avery and get ready for the second game. I'm talking about Hartford. No way to score. Yep. That new backstop, or the newer backstop's much closer, made of concrete, the lower half of it. And that ball comes back to you real quick. He would have been a sitting duck if he would have tried to score right there. Oh, and he's pushed it to a 3-ball. No strike count to Chad Ryan. This, of course, would force in a run. Yep, right down the pipe for a strike. And you got to scratch your head as a coach or a catcher. Where was that the other 3 pitches? Yep, and that'll make it 15-8 now as McLaughlin comes in to score. Yep, Parker up, and that's going to be the tour of duty for Avery. It's over. We'll have a new pitcher up on the other side of the fade. Okay, so I was wrong. He's going to stick with Avery. I actually lost track of if he'd been to the mound or not for a visit prior to that one, and he hasn't, so he stays with Avery. And there's a strike. In all honesty, do you know I tell a guy who's struggling like Avery, I would say stop messing around, just throw the fastball and put it in play and hope somebody can make a play. Avery made the catch. That's the inning. 15-8 Rutland with the lead going into the top of the 7th. So Chris Parker trying to close the deal here in the 7th. He's going to be looking at Mike Grant, Jim Gaudette, and Sean Fernandez due up. Unless they've had a pinch hitter come up, but that looks like Mike Grant, and I believe it is Mike Grant. 15-8 Rutland. Teams that combined for 23 runs in the ball game. In case you couldn't add 15-8. Oh, nice job. Not only did he track it and get there with a speed Ryan, but he clearly barked out he had it to communicate to the other infielders. And that's such an overlooked thing nowadays, just communicating on any playing field, whether it's baseball or hockey or football or whatever. 1 down. Jim got that up. That'll be in the dirt. Carter with a nice short hop. Again, this is game number 1 of a doubleheader. At some later date, Channel 15, you'll be able to watch game number 2. And that will be foul. Again, a lot of times you can just... Don't forget Sports Saturday. Oh, I could probably forget to mention that early. Whatever Tom Leopold, the program director at Channel 15, accumulates for sports during a week, you know, whoever brings it in, whatever it is, he'll air them all the time and stuff, but then he gets them all in one big clump and plays them starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoons on Saturdays. Well, he just got a piece of that. Stay alive. So yeah, don't forget, Channel 15's Games of the Week start Saturday at 4 p.m. And they'll air other times at other days, but that's the central figure one to really get you tuned into And that just missed. Parker kicked, fired, and snapped it off and just missed. Stays 2-2 the count now. Well, it doesn't stay. It goes to 2-2 the count. He got him. Parker with that. That's his deuce. He talks about that's his pitch. He's got 2 down now. Now Fernandez up, representing the last opportunity for Hartford to keep the game going here.
Number 12, the third baseman, Sean Fernandez.
And again, just in case this does become the final out, I'll tell you the website for Channel 15 is www.PEGTV.com. And that'll be a strike from Parker. Well, there were a lot of hitting highlights because a lot of people pounded the ball, but I think a home run always brings goosebumps to the crowd. And it was Zach Aquistapes with a 2-run homer out of the park. If the game does end in this inning. And that'll be a ball. 1-1 to count. Chris Parker in his last year Legion ball. Big leader, good leader in that dugout. And that's just a little, excuse me, foul strike off the end of the bat on check swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Nobody on base. 15-8 Rutland, and they're looking for that final out to take the first game of the Twin Bill. And that'll be to Jeff McLaughlin, and that's the ball game. And Sorelli started it, Parker finished it, and Post 31 will win it 15-8. So congratulations to Rutland Post 31, a good effort by Hartford's Post 26. Get out there and catch some Legion ball, but always support Munger Vision.